tonight, we're going to meet 4 entrepreneurs who have bucked the trends and opened businesses in downtown Manchester over the past year. They've brought with them new energy and opened up empty storefronts. Together, they have brought unique goods and services to our community, and we're excited to have them all here tonight. Before we begin the discussion, I'm going to introduce them by name, and Cal is going to put up a slide of their business. So we're going to start with Nicole. So Nicole Ihaz and her sister Kathleen have opened the Artisan's Key. And we're going to move to the next one. So Dina. Yeah. Dina Bronson has opened Dina's Bakery and Cafe in what used to be the Silver Fork. Marjorie, oh, wait a minute, sorry. Marjorie Deitch and Lillian Short have opened Downtown Window and Design right in the heart of downtown. And Lisa Goodman and Verdanta Griffith have opened Vintage Soul in what used to be the Country Store. And it's actually still called the Vintage Soul Country Store. So now, starting with Nicole, we'd like each of you to sort of give us an overview of your business. What's it about, and what kinds of things do you sell?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for putting this together. This is really, it's an honor to be a part of. So the Artisan's Key just came about when my sister and I were thinking, we came back here, her from Brooklyn, myself from LA, during the pandemic. And we grew up here. We both graduated from Long Trail. And we were just remembering some of the places that we loved growing up, like the Jelly Mill and places where you could get really great gifts for yourself, for others, and that also had a lot of some works of local artists. So we thought about what we could do, and we said, okay, let's try this. And so we opened the store, and given that with the pandemic, and I hadn't done this before, you don't have any trade shows. So you can't really go and touch the products. So a lot of it was items that I use in my life, or things, the gifts that I have gotten for friends, and then reconnecting with some of the people that I knew growing up here. And I've been following their careers and their art, like Will Klinging-Peel, Nori Hayes, Robin French, and connecting with them and seeing what they're doing and bringing that in as well. So it's been wonderful. And through them, I've also met other artists. So you can get, I kind of like to say it's something for everyone. If you wanted a gift for yourself, your partner, someone who's having a baby, a birthday, a wedding, like there's something for everyone, and at a price range that is open to everyone as well. I wanted to make sure that a student could come in and buy a ring for a friend for $12. So that's sort of where we are.
When did you actually open?
November.
November. Okay, so you were open for the holiday season.
Yes.
But you missed fall.
I really tried to push for that.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, thank you, and we'll get back to some more questions. Moving on to Dina, who's someone who's familiar to a lot of us and has had a lot of different roles in Manchester, but has now opened Dina's Bakery and Cafe. Talk to us about what you're doing, Dina.
So we're doing an amazing variety of baked goods, fresh breads, cakes, cookies, pies, like breakfast and lunch. Everything we sell is something that we make in the bakery. A worker came in today to check the dish machine, and he said, "Do you make everything that you sell here?" Yes. Look on his face, and I said, "Yeah, we just don't squeeze the oranges for the juice." But so, you know, there's something for everyone. We do a lot of vegan food. We do gluten-free. Everything's fresh, and we use as many Vermont products as possible. You know, King Arthur flour and Cabot cheese and butter and that kind of thing.
Terrific. And you opened when, Dina?
Right after Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you missed the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, so we had the Christmas week, and we kind of wanted a quiet opening to figure out how the kitchen worked, and
Yep.
and you know, having been in the business for a long time, every space is a little different. So we knew there would be a sort of breaking in period.
Mhm.
Great.
Mhm.
And now to Marjorie and Lillian, Downtown Window and Design. Talk to us about your business.
Well, I think a lot of people would recognize us from when we worked for many years in the decorating department at RK Miles. And when RK Miles was deciding to relocate the paint department into the hardware store, Lillian and I looked at each other and said, well, what are we going to do now? Well, why don't we just take over the business? Which Joe very graciously, Joe Miles, if you don't know who Joe is, Joe Miles said, take everything you need, girls, go for it. And with the help of everybody's family, shout out to everyone. We opened in a couple of days after we closed at RK Miles, and we were very fortunate to hit the ground running because everybody knows what's happening in real estate around here.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super. Next up is Lillian Goodman from Vintage Soul.
Lisa.
Lisa, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Oh boy.
It's a lot of people
Lisa.
to keep track of.
Linda, Linda, I'm going to correct you on something that you introduced me as Vedanta, and I opened the Vintage Soul. Vedanta was not included in my opening of the Vintage Soul. That's mine.
Okay. Oh,
She
okay.
is,
Sorry.
right. She is, however, going to partner with me as we expand next door.
Mhm.
So
Got it.
she'll be a business partner in that. Now, what was the question?
So, if you just give us a little overview of your business, what you do and what you sell.
What don't we sell is a little bit better. We are an antique and vintage. We sell antiques and vintage things, as well as anything from A to Z in there. We also, when we moved into that location, because it was the country store and we kept the sign up, we decided to also add in a little bit of the country store aspect to keep the candies and the snacks and the sodas and the cheeses from the local farm. So we added to the vintage stuff as well as the local artisans.
Okay, so Nicole, the next round of questions really goes to, what were the challenges of you kind of gave us some about the fact that there weren't shows to go to. And I know I had the same problem. I'm one of those people who goes to the gift shows, and, we've had to punt and find new ways to do that. But, what were the specific challenges that you think you encountered because you were in a pandemic? How did that work for you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the trade show was the most challenging because having never done anything like this before, I didn't really kind of know where to start. But I did reach out. What helped was reaching out to different friends of mine who, whether they're event planners or wedding planners or people who have started their own businesses, and asking them what brands that they work with and use and like. And so I got a lot of recommendations and feedback from friends, which was really helpful for me to be able to go out and then say to that brand, I want to have you in my store. A challenge was some of the bigger brands not wanting to give me access because they don't know my store or a small store in Manchester. So having to get the store up and running, take photos, show them all the other brands that I'm carrying, and then them saying, oh, okay, well, we'd love to be part of your shop. So timing was an issue of getting everything in there. But other than that, it was just a huge learning curve of learning the point of sale system, the inventory, and logging inventory. And I was very fortunate that a lot of people offered me help. Kylie from Kylie Boutique up in Burlington was a huge help to me. Catherine Rockwell. So I really felt like I had people to reach out to. So that was helpful. But yeah, it's a big learning curve that I just didn't know anything about.
Yeah. Dina, how about you? I mean, did you have specific challenges that you've done the bakery business in different ways? You know, was opening this business different because of the pandemic?
Yeah, there were definitely certain challenges. I think the biggest challenge has been people's fear of going out to eat. And that's hand in hand with everything is takeout. And coming from a fine dining background, I spent a lot of time looking at dishes and completely forgot about paper goods. So the first week was a little bit of a panic of, buying paper plates at Shaw's and wrapping everything and going, I forgot it's all takeout. So, that's beginning to shift as more and more people get vaccinated. They come in very proudly and say, this is the first place we went after we got our second shot. But it definitely, there's certain shortages because of the pandemic. There are just supply chain shortages that I didn't anticipate, from parts for the dish machine and one of the mixers, I can't get a mixer fixed because the parts are just not available. So there are certain things that you just don't think about that have been impacted.
Lillian and Marjorie, did you face, I mean, you kind of came with almost like an existing business when you moved, but did the pandemic, pose specific challenges to you as well?
Definitely. I would echo Dina's comment about supply chain. We would order product and we were accustomed to getting it in 2 weeks and 3 weeks and installing it in someone's home. And we were waiting 4 or 5 weeks for product. Things that we wouldn't ordinarily think about, which is that at the factory, they're all working at a distance from one another when they used to work very close together. And now they're 6 feet apart. Now that people are on different crews, shipping was crazy because of the holidays and everyone shopping in anticipation of the holidays. Things that would used to take 4 days to get here were taking 2 weeks to get here. So it was we had product out for weeks in a way we had not anticipated. Yeah. Everyone has learned to wait.
Lisa, your story, I think, is really interesting because when we first talked, you were you started out in a different location, but you started out opened and then right before the pandemic happened. I mean, tell us a little about how that worked and the fact that you've moved as well during a pandemic. So you kind of have a whole mixed narrative about how this has affected you.
I was listening to everybody and I'm trying to think, what were my challenges? And I, honest to God, didn't have any of what everybody was talking about. I think my situation is a little bit different. This past March 15th, was 1 year since I opened. And I opened at that location in oh my God, I forgot the name of the place already. Next to the dry cleaners, way in the back. And shortly after that, the pandemic closure hit and down we went. So I had a month and a half off. And I was a little scared at first going, my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay the rent? Because I have dealers. That my business model is I have dealers and I have, I forgot how many we had in that store at the time, but they paid rent. So if they don't have any business coming in, they can't pay me rent. And I certainly couldn't pay for rent. So that worked out for me because I told the landlord, if I can't be open for business, my dealers don't make any money. I don't make any money. Therefore, there's nothing to pass on to you. So I was fortunate in that way that we were just on hold. So we just waited it out and I hoped that we would be able to reopen, and we did. About a month and a half later, I think we shut down shortly after March 15th and reopened May 15th.
Oh, wow.
So from May 15th on, it took us to the end of December where I was approached by the people that bought the Old Country Store. And I turned them down a couple of different times because I was afraid of the move, especially during this time. But everybody thought I was crazy. So I got a lot of input about you need to move your store up front where you're visible. But again, I was scared. The rent was double of what I was paying. So that was a scary aspect of it. But on the other hand, look at the visibility of that store. So I just made the decision to go for it, and we moved in at the end of December and opened up January 1st. And
Wow.
it's been great.
So how do you anticipate business changing as you know, people are getting vaccinated, things are starting to reopen? You know, have you kind of looked at how that's going to work for you? And, you know, give us some idea of how you've attracted customers. I mean, who are the people that are coming into your businesses? You know, how is that all working for you, Nicole?
Sure. So I think, you know, it sounds like feedback from everyone that's coming in the store that the summer is going to be great. I think the horse sounds like the horse show's happening. I've heard from people that their businesses, whether it's flower businesses or catering, are getting jobs for weddings. So I think that, you know, as the vaccines are coming and people are feeling more and more safe and comfortable, they'll be coming out. And with attracting people, I think social media has been big. It's it's a learning curve for me still on the being the face of your business and how you have to, you know, do Instagram reels and the algorithm goes out there and you get all these different people coming and then they'll follow you and buy from you. So I'm learning that, but I think that's been the biggest for me is how when I'm sharing a post or I'm tagging one of the artists that we're working with, then their friends see it and they start following. And then I've had people come in the store to say, oh, I saw your post, or oh, I saw you carry this person's brand. So that's been really nice, along with the word of mouth. And that's what I'm hearing the most is that they're seeing the posts and hearing from people about what the products that I'm carrying.
Do you find that you're getting walk-in business as well? I mean, is there walk-in business in Manchester at this point?
Yes, I am getting walk-in business. I think I'm still dealing with a bit of a lighting issue. It looks a little dark in there, but yes, I mean, as soon as I put things up in the window, I'm getting more people walking in. And that's great. And a lot of people are, you know, I think everyone with the pandemic being, you know, holed up in their house, everyone just wants to have a conversation. So I'm getting a lot of feedback of people, whether it's local or also the tourists, that are just so excited to see this, you know, Manchester thriving again in all these different stores. And I think there's a lot, especially in my group, of telling each other to go different places. And, you know, if anyone comes in and is looking for something that I don't have, I send them off to, you know, the Mountain Goat or the bookstore. And so that's been really nice as well, just being able to talk to people and see what the needs are and what they want. But yeah, I am getting walk-ins for sure.
Dina, you're maybe a little more out of the way from walk-in, but are you getting walk-ins? It's been nice. People are out walking, so.
Absolutely. And I think as the weather gets nicer, and I think we'll definitely get a lot more walk-in, because there's not a whole lot at my end of town. So I think it's certainly walking distance from the Equinox and the Panther and being in Manchester. So I think the nice weather is going to bring people out. People are just eager to be out and about.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been, go ahead.
No, you can keep going.
You know, I'm just so grateful. I've been so blessed with this supportive town, you know, old customers finding me and telling other people and posting on social media, because I am not a great social media person either. And people just, you know, saying, oh, you got to go check it out. And so that's just been amazing. And, you know, I try to throw pictures on Instagram, you know, a couple times a week, but it's really been the town sort of rallying, which has been just fabulous.
That's great. That's one of the advantages of being in small town America, I think, is that, you know, people know their neighbors and support them. Are you going to be able to have an outdoor seating presence where you are?
Yes, and well, I have to talk to my landlord about it, but I'm hoping to put some pavers out front so I could put tables out on more level ground, but I'm definitely planning on outdoor seating.
Yeah, because I would imagine, having watched last summer and everybody walking around eating and sitting outside, I think that might be a new narrative for people. I mean, after the pandemic, even when we can be inside, I think we all found a great experience being outside and eating outside, and that was one of the positives, certainly. So Marjorie, how have you found all of this?
So, when we went looking for space, we had a variety of options. And one of the reasons why we picked this spot was because of its location in town. And we anticipated people walking by. And there's a large number of people who walk a circuit of downtown Manchester on their daily route. So sometimes people just end up sticking their head in because they're thinking about something they hadn't thought about, and there's rugs and they want to look at rugs, or, oh my gosh, you have wallpaper, what have you got? So we've definitely seen an uptick with the good weather in people just wandering in off the street, wouldn't you say? Yeah. I think one of the ways in which the pandemic has changed some part of our business is a lot of people contact us by email, and we can do a tremendous amount of work strictly through email. We may never even see them until the final minutes, really.
Wow.
So that part's been both. I'm anticipating that to be really a big part of the way the future of the business is going to operate. Yeah.
You were pretty tucked away when you were back in Miles. I mean, that was kind of like not even real visible from the road. Do you think being in your downtown location is just opening up the whole experience for new customers and kind of introducing you to people who are new to the community as well? I mean, do you think that downtown presence has made a difference?
Yeah,
I think it does. Yeah, I think it does. I mean, we're not like, we don't sell off the floor a ton of product. People come here for a reason. So, but I think being visible really helps, and once they walk in, they enjoy having our discussions. So, they end up.
Yeah, we've had a few people, especially new, who are just really just walking around and pop their head in, and the next thing you know, you're installing things.
Yeah. Is wallpaper back? It's
always been one more time.
It's always been here.
And I think it's pretty amazing the amount of material you have put in that small space. It's pretty impressive.
We squeezed in, it's quite.
You did, absolutely. Lisa, you with your move, how have you seen the difference in being like a downtown presence, and where are your customers coming from? I mean, are you driving with social media, or are you more walk-in?
I'd say both. It's the best move I could have made. So that put my fears to rest. We get a lot of walk-in traffic that are going up and down, and the people that are coming in, I hear nothing but positive things. So that makes me feel pretty good. And these people, just like Nicole said, they want to get out. They want to start talking to people. And when they're in the store, they ask me, where else can I go? Is there any place I can go visit? And I love sharing information. Where's a good store to go? That's why I think what Cal put together here is such a tremendous thing, because now we can network. We know we can refer people to different places, but we also have my Facebook page, The Vintage Soul. So I've started to get quite a bit of following there. The locals are spreading it like crazy, and I think that the out-of-staters that come in, that's icing on the cake for me. Getting that repeat business.
We see tons of people wandering in there from where we're located, just walking in off the street. I think it's a very popular weekend activity to just wander around, see what's up.
I think it goes to the whole narrative that you're reading a lot about communities looking at their downtown core and small towns, building in the small, in that downtown area, because you do have that walk around, you've got restaurants, you've got, there's a lot happening in downtown Manchester that's local. I mean, that the area where you people exist is really what I remember is downtown Manchester from the 60s, when, and it's neighbors and it's local, and it's exciting for all of us. What surprised you about your business when you opened up, and what surprised you maybe about Manchester and the business community, Nicole?
I'd say one thing that surprised me was what's selling, and learning what to lean into to have in the store, because I definitely had some assumptions that were wrong. That's been really interesting. In terms of, I mean, I think that's probably the biggest thing that I've learned is, and then how eager people are to, I get a lot of people coming in asking, how much of this is local artists. And I tell them, I'm trying to even expand that more, but I didn't realize how much people would be so interested in the story behind things. So when they ask me like, well, why this tea over any other tea brand? And I can tell them, well, this is my friend and this is how we met. And or I went to school with this person and I've been following their career and their painting, and this is why they do X, Y, Z. And I didn't expect that. And so that's been really nice. And then again, just, the way that the community rallied around it. I haven't lived here in years. I did grow up here, but the local support has just been incredible. Like Dina said, and I have to say, Dina, the mushroom soup, oh my gosh, I'll walk anywhere.
Super. Dina, what surprised you? You're an old hand. What weren't you anticipating?
I'm surprised at just how popular breakfast sandwiches are. Like I make biscuits almost every day because we can't sell out, and it's just, and carrot cake. Who knew carrot cake was so popular? I just,
Yeah, there you go. Get that.
But it's just, people want to connect. They don't want to just, they don't just want a cup of coffee. They want coffee and a story.
Yeah.
And they want connection, and it's really lovely.
What time do you open for breakfast?
We open at 8.
All right.
So
So you
not
can
super
grab that.
early because, I worked nights for 30 years, so I'm still adjusting my clock. Late every day.
Hey, you're the boss.
That's right.
Marjorie, any surprises for you and well, you and Lillian?
Lillian's going to answer that one.
All right, Lillian.
No, I had some time to think about it. I think how busy we are is a big surprise for me, for us. I remember the cable guy, the Comcast guy, was here in October. We weren't moved in, and he says to me, "So you're starting a business during a pandemic? Wow." Huh. And I thought, oh my God, we're crazy. But people come in and they're like, I've been wanting to do this for so long. I need to get new shades. I need to put some wallpaper up. I just need a rug. And everybody's got that, they've been a year of this and they want to do something. So I'm surprised. Yeah.
So do you think it's
Happily.
because people have been more focused on being home? I mean, we've all been stuck in our homes a lot more than we normally are.
That's it.
And do you think that's part of it, or is it
Oh, yeah.
a lot of people who've moved to the community as well? We all have heard about the real estate boom here in Manchester area. How is
It's a combination. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we both have clients who, same thing, have either moved here, a year ago, a few months ago, or just want to renovate because it's been a while and they've been looking at it for a while and they say it's time to do that kitchen.
Or,
You
oh my
know?
gosh, that couch is so dirty, I can't stand looking at it one more day, because everybody sat on it for a year.
Yeah.
We have to do something about
Yeah.
that, or,
So
there's a lot of that.
it's a combination.
Interesting. And Lisa, what's been the surprise for you?
Believe it or not, it's the amount of people that come into the shop that want to consign things. That blows me right out of the water. I don't have to find anything. I don't have to hunt for anything. I don't have to go to shows. It comes to me. I was just thinking, I was out at a lady's house today. She did call me, and she's the 4th house in 3 months since I've moved to this location that I've cleaned out for one reason or another. Oh no, all 4 of them had homes here. Like the lady that I went today, she wanted to know if I would take any of her things on consignment. And I went in there and I thought, okay, be cool, Lisa, but I wanted to jump up and down for joy because the stuff was fabulous. And oh my God, it's the neatest thing, and vintage and some antiques and collectibles were gorgeous. So that led to us having to get a warehouse, because now I've got 4 households in there.
Wow.
I don't have the room in my shop. If any of you have ever been in there, it's packed.
It
And I
is.
have to build up because, Linda, did you walk around when you were in there?
Yes, there's a lot.
Look under and over and in between things to find stuff, but it's tastefully done, I feel. But so I've already cleaned up 4 houses because of people in the area and surrounding areas. That the lady from the house today is from Connecticut, and she just sold her house. The houses have been selling like crazy around here. So she sold the house here in Londonderry, and there's things that she's not going to take back to her. So I went there, we had a ball, made arrangements to take that stuff and put it on consignment, so the surprise is the amount of stuff coming in. Oh my God, what am I going to do with all this? To leading to a warehouse where I now have to house it, to now guess what I need to do? Now we're going to start having monthly warehouse sales, because
Wow.
this on Main Street. I can't keep opening shop after shop. So we're going to do a warehouse. Although I did tell you that I'm opening the shop right next door, so I'm getting closer to you two.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going into there. We're expanding into there, but we're still going to need that 4,100 square foot warehouse off Airport Road, and then that'll become monthly. We'll do come on in and shop.
That sounds brilliant.
Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah, very
It
good.
just seems to start taking on a life of its own, and oh my God, everybody's either wanting to downsize or they're moving, they're selling, but for whatever reason, there's merchandise out there to sell.
Sounds like you're actually solving a problem for people. And, what you hear a lot now is that people's children don't want their things anymore. And, people have beautiful things. Where do you go? So, this may be a problem for you. You may get a lot more people telling you they want you to take their things from you, Lisa.
The problem they have.
The store next door, when I met with you earlier, that's going to be a furniture. You talked about giving classes and furniture. Could you give us a little about that?
Because we have so much in storage right now, we have to empty it. I can't keep paying the rents on that stuff. So I kept saying, oh my God. And I did this in the other place too. I looked around and go, oh my God, not really meaning anything, but I look around and go, I need a bigger place. But be careful what you wish for, because it happened. So now I said, oh my God, I need a bigger place. Because when I moved into the place on Main Street, all my dealers wanted to double their space. Go figure. So now I don't have any room for some of the bigger stuff that I have, and the furniture and the carpets and all of that stuff. All used, Marjorie and Lillian, all but so that's what's going to go over there. The displays of furniture, the farm tables, the old carpets, the old orientals, the lamps, lots of paintings and pictures and
Perfect.
some famous artwork.
And give them.
And that's about it over there. And then of course we'll manage the warehouse.
Mhm.
And
Great.
it has to stop there.
Major success stories. So, one of the questions always has been, historically in Manchester is, what is the future of downtown Manchester? And, from your perspective, as new business owners, what do you see as the future of downtown Manchester? How do you see it growing? Do you see your businesses growing? Give us a little sense of your thoughts, Nicole.
I mean, I do see it growing, and I have, I have a hope that there will be more businesses like what we're all doing. And I know they call them the mom and pop shop, but I think seeing more of those, it's great. And I'm not knocking anything, but the big companies, they have their place, but there's something to be said about going to a store and feeling that you're not going into some corporate, business, and you're having conversations with real people. And I hope that there's more of that. I hope we see, even, more restaurants, more, even if it's pop-ups. I mean, I just think about like Nancy and the hot dog cart, and like that was here when I was in high school, and how that's a staple, and it means so much. And people, for locals and also for people who come, they look for her. So finding more businesses that make people feel that way, that's what I see and I hope for.
Mhm.
Great. Dina, how about you?
Oh, I absolutely agree. I think the chain stores, as Nicole said, they had their place, but that doesn't draw people here anymore. You could get that anywhere. So what brings people are the small shops, the personal places. I mean, that's Nicole's in that center where it's all, little local owners of doing unique things. And I think that's what's revitalizing the community. We're bringing back, people are doing businesses that they care about. They're not just salespeople. They're promoting their friends' artwork, or they're selling contents of a home of, things that people loved. And it's just, it's personal. And that's what brings people back.
Mhm. Mhm.
Agree. Marjorie and Lillian?
I'm reflecting on this question, I was thinking about the fact that I think it would be very helpful in Manchester if there was a dedicated night where stores were open later. And I'm thinking this way in the summertime, to your point about people wanting to eat outside and be outside. And I can remember when we had the festival at the end, down by the Circle prior to the pandemic, where the whole town would come out and everybody was hanging out outside their store. And let's not roll up the streets here at 6 o'clock at night in the summertime. It would be great to be able to go to not just the bookstore, go to a restaurant, just browse through other people's stores in an evening at a dedicated time. Other towns do first Fridays of the month, second Friday of the month, where that's de rigueur all summer long.
Mhm.
Like it. Something to do at night in Manchester.
Exactly. Something to do. There's a shocking new idea. Yeah.
Wow. Lisa, how about you?
Wrote down some notes as everybody was talking. I want to tell you about an experience I had today. TJ Maxx just recently opened, and I don't have a thing against TJ Maxx. I love going to TJ Maxx, but I had a fear of how it was going to impact my business. So I had a break. I had one of my girls watch the store, and I said, just give me an hour. She goes, she got a half hour. Great. So I ran down to TJ Maxx with a friend of mine real quick. The place is packed. It's brand new. Everybody's shopping carts are full. And I bought a couple of things for myself. And I go back to the shop. Totally forgot about TJ Maxx. You know why? Because people were coming in my door like nobody's business. They were shopping. were asking questions. I was having fun with them. We were talking. And a little girl's birthday, she got a free ring pop. I sang a song to her. And I got thinking, I said, you know something? It's that personal connection with these people, whether they're locals or whether they're out of state, that's going to make a difference in my business. It's not going to TJ. And that hit me today of how we handle ourselves in the store with each other. I want it to be fun when they come in here. And it is. It's fun and it's relaxing. The other thing that I want to say is I think it's crucial that we build each other up in this community. And that's why I love what Cal has done with this. I didn't know about Nicole's place. I didn't know about Dina's Bakery. I can't tell you how many times people have asked me, where can I go? And off the top of my head, there are two places that I could list. And one was the Works Bakery, although it's not a real bakery. That's the only place I refer them to. Guess what? That's about to change because now there's options, people. There's Dina's Bakery, blah, 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 straight up 7A. I give directions to places all the time. And I think it's critical to all of us as business owners is that we talk about each other's. These people want to go to you. They want to know what's out there. So talk each other up. I think that I refer people. It doesn't take business away from us. It helps. And it's good to have that referral. The other thing I just want to mention is somebody talked about, I think it was Marjorie. Man, right on about the open later. Somebody just said this past week. I think it was Friday night. He says, all the sidewalks roll up at 5 o'clock around here. And they do.
They do.
So I've started talking about, because on Friday and Saturdays, my hours, we close at 6. Come summer, we need to stay open till at least 8. At least 8. So, that's been in my thought process ever since this has happened. Marjorie, did you think a different time, maybe even later? Marjorie?
I'm so sorry.
You didn't hear a word I said.
No,
Lillian started talking to me about something else. I apologize.
no, I was saying that there used to be another shop here before we came. And I think people refer to it as the junk shop.
Oh, I know which one.
And I had 2 people Saturday come in looking for the junk shop, and I said, I'm not sure, but you have to go to Vintage Soul.
Thank you. I'm not a junk shop though, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
No junk, but you
No
just
junk.
gotta try Vintage Soul.
Yeah, go in and see what's going on.
People come into my shop and asking about peak element. Green elements? or
Green elements. Yeah.
Yeah, so I tell them where they are, but I saw Brad today and he's never there. He's never open. So that's a tough one.
Yeah.
For business if nobody's there. But what I was saying about opening later, that somebody came in and said to me, what do all the sidewalks roll up around at 5 o'clock around here? And what you said, Marjorie, is yes, they do.
They
Yeah.
do.
Saturdays I've been staying
Welcome
open
to
till 6. But come summer, I really think we need to expand that, especially Friday and Saturday nights, is at least until 8. I don't know.
I could see Friday night. Saturday night's hard because you're
People have company.
yeah, you live your own life on a Saturday night, but I don't mind a Friday night.
Friday night.
Yeah.
Also, too. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey gang, I'm just noticing the time. I'm going to be the timekeeper here, and we're at about 10 minutes to 7. So why don't we just open this up? Let's just keep opening it up. I've been taking notes. I have so many questions, but there are also some questions here too. Somebody in chat was asking if you all could just say, when are your business hours? Speaking of business hours right now, because I think we have some people right here, right now, who want to come pay you all a visit.
I can start with that if you don't mind.
Sure.
At least.
And it might be 8 o'clock. We might be hearing a new business hours. Get ready.
When I opened up on Main Street, I thought, okay, maybe I better open at 10. But here's what I found since I opened at 10 and started closing at 3. Nobody comes in at 10 or before that. It's a good 2 or 3 hours before people start coming in. So then I got thinking, maybe I should have stayed at 11. So I'm torn about the 10 o'clock part. So it's 10 to 5. And I'm torn about staying open 7 days a week too. So any feedback on that, I would appreciate the help too. But the 10 o'clock, should it be 11? I agree with Marjorie about staying open on Friday the latest, which is kind of nice. I don't mind being home early on Saturday, so. But I'm 10 to 5 most days. Friday and Saturday is 10 to 6 right now, and Sunday is 11 to 4.
Mhm. And I don't know who was next. Let's say Nicole, I think was next. So Nicole, what are your hours?
So I'm definitely the shorter hour person. I am open Wednesday through Sunday, 11 to 4:30. And that is not because I did any research or any, it's just I have a couple other things that I doing. So I need that Monday and Tuesday to have other meetings and things like that. I did try the 10 a.m. I felt like nobody comes in, so that's why I moved it to 11. I am very open to a Friday staying late. I actually had some conversations with people that, how fun would it be? I have the big deck, if you all remember the old Mother Myrick's, there with having an ice cream outside. I very remember that. Having a band play.
Oh,
Having Nancy have her hot dogs if she's open to it. Like, I'll put some tea out. I think it would be really nice to have something for and also for families with parents with kids and coming out and just having some, even if they don't end up going to dinner, but it's just something to do. So I would be very open to that. I'm very flexible with the hours, and I think that if there's holiday weekends, I'll put it out on Instagram that I'm open on that Monday. But for right now, given it's a new store and we're just starting, I'm not at the level of, okay, I'm going to hire somebody to come in and work the days that I'm not there. So it's really, I want to see what this year looks like before I start, kind of bringing somebody else in. So that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and Dina, how about you? What are your
Right
hours?
now we're open 8 till 3 every day except Tuesday. Tuesday is our close day. Friday and Saturday we tend to stay later, closer till 4. And I anticipate come nice weather, we'll stay open even later.
Are you doing catering as well? I mean, you're doing breakfast, you're doing lunch, and then you do amazing sweets. So are you also catering?
Yes, I'm anticipating once all, people start having parties again, we'll do some catering. I'm taking orders for wedding cakes at this point. We're not going to take on the big parties, the big weddings anymore. But cocktail parties and
remember those?
Those are coming back. I know I have in September. We'll do brunches and that kind of thing, but not the big. I'm done doing giant weddings.
Yeah. Well, I think you and Nicole's deck and need to get together, right?
Yeah.
The funny thing is I looked at that space and that was my thought was, have music on the deck and people can sit with their cappuccino and a pastry and listen to some nice music. And it just wasn't the right space for me because of needing a kitchen. Definitely. I'm all for have a band and
yeah,
we need stuff in the evenings.
Yeah. So Marjorie and Lillian, what are your hours right now?
We're closed on Sundays because we are open Monday only by appointment because we do need the day to go out. We go to measures at people's homes. So we do need that day, but quite often we're hanging around here in the afternoon. It's a little secret, but we're here. And we're open Tuesday through Friday, 9:30 to 5. And on Saturday, I am here 9:30 to 2.
Great.
The business doesn't lend itself so much to Sunday kind of thing. And, it's a much more traditional business model in that way. It's a Monday to Friday kind of a business, and people are around, they'll come in on Saturday because that's when they're in town or whatever. But, and I feel the other piece of wanting to stay open late one night is because so many women work, and to close at 5 o'clock, it precludes them from coming into the shop. So it's also addresses the question of being available to women who work and want to just come in at the end of their day.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because actually another thought was just, this is Women's History Month. And I just wonder if any of you want to just speak to what it is to be a woman in business today. I want to point out that I thought it was really interesting, Nicole, when you were talking about getting your business together, you said there were so many people that were really helpful to you. And then you named 2 women business owners from, and that just struck me that I just kind of, I wonder about that. And if there's anything that anybody wants to comment about, you know, a woman today in business and the climate or anything, you know?
I mean, I will say for me, I work very closely with a lot of women. I work with my sister. She's my best friend. And I work with my younger sister too. So I really love women supporting women. And I also think that one of the biggest things for me as a female entrepreneur is, I remember being in a meeting a while ago, years ago, with a big time producer. And I was telling him what was going on in my life. And he said, so I don't understand, like, what do you want to be? Like, are you a writer? Are you a director? Like, are you an investor? Like, what are you? Like, what's your lane? I looked at him, I said, dude, I zigzag across the pool. I do not have a lane. And I think that that's really helped me in starting any businesses, like anything that feels like, oh, okay, well, opening the store, it might not be in my lane, but you know what, learn, like educate yourself and reach out to other women and other, you know, men too have been great mentors for me. But reach out to other people who've done it, and don't be shy, because the right women are going to want to help you and raise you up and teach you, and the wrong women, you know, whatever, they're on their own journey. But I think it's really good to ask the questions, because you know, it takes a village for a lot of things, and so that's always been kind of the way I have rolled in any new business venture. So I hope that's helpful.
Well, we were talking earlier just about how interesting it is that during, you know, here we've been talking a lot about the pandemic and opening before and during the pandemic, and it was all women businesses. I mean, I may have missed some, but that I find curious too. Is there some common thread about that? Are we all just a little more bold, a little more risk taking? You know, was there, I'm trying to think, it might have been one person that we talked to, I think, was saying, why not during the pandemic? Because it might have actually presented an opportunity of kind of opening up something in your life that you could give this a try, as opposed to another time. And I don't know if anyone has any comments about that. Put that out there.
I would say, I think Lillian and I are quite grateful for, oh, am I muted?
No.
Thank you. So classy. Lillian and I were quite grateful to have some place to go to work, something to do.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds crazy, but the idea of just staying home after creating a COVID garden and cleaning your house a lot, what are you going to do? Something to engage your mind and
See people.
Yeah.
And
I think it also too, to another degree, to contribute to the community. It was actually a really significant factor in our decision to go forward. And Lillian nudging me to do it. Yeah, that too.
Well, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed of the amount of people that have stopped into the store, and a lot of women, to wish us luck, to be so excited that we're doing this, to be
very enthusiastic.
Very enthusiastic. It's just wonderful to see. I mean, and they didn't even have to stop because they're not buying anything, but just to wish us the best of luck. It's been just overwhelming. It's been wonderful. Yeah.
That's
so
great.
We enjoy it.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we're almost out of time here. I'm going to there's a comment here I want to share with everyone, and then I have one more question for you all. I just want to give a shout out to the Chamber of Commerce, the Southwestern Vermont Chamber. Erica was here this evening, and she just said, thank you all. What a great conversation. And she is an agent for a broker who opened a real estate business during the pandemic. And and that's Erica. I guess Erica is also a real estate broker, and she had to jump off, but she just wanted to say this was really a great discussion. And lastly, I guess I would just say, what can we do for you? I feel you are all doing so much for the revitalization of Manchester's downtown community. What can we do? What can we do for you? Tell our friends, come eat.
Yeah,
Shop.
go get breakfast sandwiches.
let's all meet for breakfast at Dina's, and then
And decorate.
yes.
And decorate. Thank
Maybe,
you.
maybe the message is explore downtown, explore our
Yeah.
community again, because the face is changing and it's exciting. It's just like
It is
spring
exciting.
opening up. So too is the downtown.
And I really
Well-
want to point out the area where Nicole and her sister have
Yeah.
opened, because we also looked at that spot,
Yeah.
and it was very compelling because it serves women particularly. You have La Pêche, the lingerie store, you have Zippy Chicks, great women's consignment store, her shop, the hairdresser, Marimekko. I think that could be a really, really exciting area. And I really applaud the idea of utilizing the deck for some kind of outdoor activity that draws people in.
Wow. Well, we're right at 7, and on behalf of everyone at the Manchester Community Library, I want to thank everyone who joined us this evening from all of the businesses in downtown, and of course also to Linda McKeever for leading this sparkling conversation we just had. Thank you so much, everyone, and thanks everyone for joining us this evening, sharing your evening with us, and hearing these rich stories of possibility and success right in our backyard. It's
Thank you.
great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Right.
Have a good night. See you downtown.
Night. See
Yes.
you downtown.